What is up, guys? Sorry about the little delay. I think I'm live. We'll have to wait a second, see. But PrizePicks got a promo going on. They're giving 30x payouts. I have no idea what's happening tomorrow. They're hyping up tomorrow like crazy. Has this started? But what we're going to do is we're just going to find a bunch of plays that we can go with. Why isn't this... Is this going live? Let me just take a look. I'm just trying to make sure this is working. Okay, perfect. We're live. What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm not sure why this took so long. I'm getting used to this new streaming software. But PrizePicks has 30x payouts on 6-pick entries. So I went through the math, and essentially all you have to do, right? Like, if we throw out, which we may do on this live stream, if we throw out 36-pick flexes, all we got to do is win one, and we'll be good to go. And I'm currently in California, so PrizePicks is one of the main books we have available. I'm not sure why I'm not showing up on my phone. Well, there we go. So we're live. If we just win one of 30, right, if we can go 2 for 30, that would be pretty nice. But, 6-pick parlays, we're obviously trying to go 6 for 6. In general, they give you a 25x payout, but today, they're giving you a 30x payout. Again, I have no idea what's happening tomorrow, but let's go ahead. Let's look for some plays. So I already locked in one of these plays. So Berserker under 16. So again, pretty simple strategy, right? So for this, if you go through the math behind this promo on PrizePicks, all you have to do is win 53% of your picks to be profitable, right? So what I mean by that is if we can win 55% of our player props, so these over-unders on PrizePicks, right? If we can win these over-unders, just like Tiffany Hayes over-under 15.5, if we can win these over-unders 55% of the time, our ROI with this promo is going to be 21%. So PrizePicks is one of those platforms, right? It's a fixed payout platform. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So all we're trying to do is find picks with a win rate, essentially, for this promo above 53%. In general, they're only giving you a 25x payout for these 6-pick entries, but you can see today they're giving you a 30x payout. So we're going to throw out a ton of darts. We're going to throw out a ton of bets. I mean, it's not going to be that hard to find good plays, especially because there's a lot of games today. There's a shit ton of games today. League of Legends lines have already dropped for tomorrow. So you can see they just moved down this line, a full kill. This one's pretty interesting. I mean, you still may want to go with it in your PrizePicks entry, but VZZ, right? You look at this guy. I mean, League of Legends, what's great about League of Legends, a lot of people don't like betting on it, but what's great about, betting on esports is there's just so many damn games, right? And a lot of games means a lot of surface area that sportsbooks have to cover. So if you look at CSGO, right? I mean, typically there's 50 esports games a day. In books like Underdog Fantasy PrizePicks, they can't manage their esports lines. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Anyways, we'll pull up, we'll look at some CFL plays. But let's just start digging through and let's try to find some good bets for tomorrow. And for today. So we have the NFL today. So you can see here, for example, there's just a ton of discrepancies between PrizePicks and Underdog for League of Legends. So you look at this player, Kaboy. So if we just go ahead, we pull him up. His line on PrizePicks is, let's go to League of Legends. His line on PrizePicks is 2.5. It looks like they actually corrected this. 2.5, 2.5, 1.5. But we'll be able to find some good plays. So let's just go ahead. Let's start looking through. And we'll cover some other sports books too. So again, depending on where you're located, maybe you have access to PrizePicks, maybe you don't. PrizePicks is in a lot of states. I'm currently in California. PrizePicks is one of the main books legal. There's not a ton of normal sports books like FanDuel. But on FanDuel, typically I'm just using the positive EV tool. This tool is pretty simple. It just points out value in the market, right? All these tools do are pointing out discrepancies to you. Value. Bryce Harper over 1.5 hits. This is plus 150 on FanDuel. All the other books pricing it around plus 115. But anyways, let's try to pull up some PrizePicks plays. So we can start out by getting rid of esports just for a second. Let's focus on the games today. So we'll get rid of some of these esports plays, or maybe League of Legends specifically, because League of Legends, it looks like only PrizePicks and Underdog have released odds. So let's start looking at the NFL, right? And let's try to find some plays on PrizePicks. So this play, for example, again, the Fantasy Optimizer, very simple tool. All it's going to do is point out discrepancies. You know, we said earlier, if you go through the math behind this PrizePicks promo, and I'll actually just put a link, you know, in the description, and then I want to get into placing some bets. So let me just put these here. So essentially for this promo, we're just looking for picks with a win rate above 53%. So let's start out. We can start out in, you know, Valorant. So if we go over here, we can pull up this guy's line. And why is OddsJam recommending we take him over 26 map 1, map 2 kills? Again, it's pretty simple. OddsJam is just pointing out discrepancies. It's not some magic thing that's going to help you, you know, cash every single bet. All it's going to do is point out discrepancies to you. So if you look at this player Zest, his line on Underdog Fantasy is 27. PrizePicks has him at 26. All of these sports books are data points, right? I've explained this before, but like all these books, looks like I have a free $5 from ParlayPlay. All these books, they all have their own models. They've all invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. So the easiest way, you know, to find picks that are winning above 53% of the time on PrizePicks is just find out where they're screwing up a line, because all these books set lines independently. So here for Zest, Underdog has his line at 27, SportsBattle 28, ParlayPlay 27.5. I mean, makes it pretty clear PrizePicks has their line too low relative to the other data points in the market, the other sports books that are posting lines. So there's value on the over. And again, I follow a very, very data-driven approach to my bets. But anyways, we can look at some WNBA too. So WNBA, another sport where oftentimes like the market's really inefficient, right? Sportsbooks, Underdog, PrizePicks, they're all trying to manage their own esports lines. They don't really do that great of a job at it. So you can find some pretty good discrepancies. So what we can do is we can pull up Courtney Williams, and we can take a look and see what's the deal with Courtney Williams' line. So it looks like all the fantasy sites have her at 9.5, FanDuel's at 10.5. So a little bit of a discrepancy, nothing crazy. And then we can pull up, you know, Alyssa Thomas. Here, maybe a little bit of value on the under. FanDuel, hot streak. A couple of the other sports books have her line at like 15.5. PrizePicks has a line at 16.5. Underdog, SportsBattle, a little lower at 16. So again, today we can be a little more trigger heavy. And what I mean by that is, again, there's a promo going on. PrizePicks is giving us this extra payout boost. It ends in an hour. So I'm trying to get some slips down. And we can be a little more, you know, trigger happy because we have more room, you know, for buffer or whatever you want to call it. So what else do we want to take? Elizabeth Williams under 9.5 points. Meh. So let's look at some of these NFL plays. Maybe there's some good plays in the NFL. Max Duggan under 86.5 yards. TCU headed to the NFL. So if we take a look at him, you can see PrizePicks actually just bumped his line down to 84.5. I threw that play out on Twitter, so we got him under 86.5. But you can see they bumped it down to 84.5. So again, these great betting opportunities are not going to last forever. So I try to move quickly. So maybe we go with this play. Darius Davis under 26.5 receiving yards. This will be our third pick. So I'm going to get rid of this play. And then we can take Davis under 26.5 receiving yards. Again, very simple. Like, I'm not going to create a model that is better than Underdog Fantasy. They have better data feeds. They have hundreds of employees. They've invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. Easiest way to beat them is find out where they're screwing up. So we can head over to Underdog in a bit, but would rather focus on PrizePicks at first. So some of these plays like Elias Merriweather, you know, I don't really like these plays as much because you can see there's only like 2 sports books posting lines, ParlayPlay and then PrizePicks. It doesn't look like Underdog Fantasy, SportsBattle, any of these other sites have rushing yards lines up. So we'll skip over that, but let's go to League of Legends and let's try to build out the rest of this slip. So we can take a look here. There are a lot of esports plays, but there's a lot of double headers. So I want to make sure, you know, these are actually looking accurate. So if we look at this player, Destroy, let's pull him up, League of Legends. His line is, there's like 3 different lines for him. Map 1 kills, but all these games are starting at different times. So if we pull up Underdog Fantasy, they have a triple header tomorrow. These esports guys, they go hard. So PrizePicks has his first line at 3.5. Underdog's at 4. The second line, it's also lower on PrizePicks, and then the third line, it looks like they're kind of screwing up. There's some discrepancies in all these esports lines. But anyways, maybe we go with Trey Turner. Getting a little confused looking at these esports lines, so might as well focus on the MLB here quickly. So let's take Trey Turner over half of a run. And again, like, it's a pretty simple strategy, right? Like, PrizePicks is one of those platforms. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So the strategy for beating them, and you can do this manually, right? You don't need software to do this. But if you just pull up like batter props, right? And then you go to runs scored, all you want to do is you want to look for spots. So you can see DraftKings has Trey Turner. They have his over heavily favored, right? So all the sports books, it's not just DraftKings, but all these sports books are data points. Caesars has his over juiced all the way to -164. So all these books, right, are telling us Trey Turner's more likely to go over as opposed to under. That's why this pick is winning above 52.95% of the time and is good for this PrizePicks promo. But anyways, I'm going to get rid of, we'll go back to League of Legends. I just want to make sure I'm zoning in on this random stuff properly. So we're looking for a few more picks. So maybe we can go with K1, under 15 kills. So this is a Dota play. And it seems like such a random slip, but, you know, again, like, wherever there's value, that's where I'm going to be betting. So we got K1 under 15, and this is a Dota play. So that's going to make our 5th pick. And then we need one more on PrizePicks to get our first 6 flex ready to go. So maybe we just go with, and you can kind of like be a little more aggressive, right? So again, in general, this win rate on PrizePicks, like you got to win your picks like 54.25% of the time to be profitable. Whereas now, because they're running this promo, you can be a little more aggressive. Like you can actually go all the way down to 53.2%. A lot of these picks that in general aren't profitable because they're giving you this nice little payout boost are actually pretty good. So we can start out in the CFL to Ken Mizzle under 66.5 rushing yards. So if we go here, let's go back to the CFL, and we have our final play. Under 66.5 rushing yards, and you can see all the major sports books. So if we go to the CFL on FanDuel, again, just looking for some value in the market. So if we go over to the CFL, well, let's just lock in this slip first. Been talking a lot. So $100 to win 3,000. Damn it. And it looks like they moved one of the picks on us. I'm not sure which pick. Which pick did they move? 1, 2, 3. So we got to find one more play to go with. What do we like? What do we like? What do we like? Zach Wheeler over 98.5 pitches thrown. Other books have him a bit higher. Here's another Valorant play. Again, in general, we wouldn't want to play this. Only 53.72% win rate. But again, if you go through the math behind this PrizePicks promo, 52.95% is just the percentage of picks you have to win. So you can see all the other books have his line 30.5, 29.5, stuff like that. So what we can do is we can go back here, we can go over to Valorant, and we can take his under. Under 31. So how do we like this play? Well, I'm not positive. Let's skip over that one for a sec. And why don't we go with this play? Kyle Schwarber over 1.5 bases. So the play on Trey Turner, that's the one that moved. So that play would have been nice to pair with Kyle Schwarber, right? They're both on the Phillies. So that would have been positively correlated, but whatever. It moved on us. Some of these great lines, I say it all the time, they're not going to last forever. Come on, lock it in. So here's our first PrizePicks slip. If you want to tail it, that's the first one we're going with. For the promo, again, in general, these are 25x payouts. PrizePicks giving us a 30x payout for this promo. I'm looking at the chat. Did they move Zest? Fuck. So they moved his line to 26. What were we considering betting? Wait, that's what I wanted to bet. So Zest's line is 26. Other books have him 27, 28 half. That seems like a pretty good play. Zest's line, 27 on Underdog still. How did we do on Underdog? Yesterday in the live stream, again, these parlay-only platforms, Underdog, PrizePicks, ParlayPlay, you're going to be more streaky, right? This is a 6x payout. We're betting 100 to win 600. Like, we're not going to win every bet. You know, if we just win 2 out of 6, we're going to have a pretty crazy profit because it's a 6x payout. But this is the first one I went ahead, locked in on PrizePicks. Anyways, I'm seeing some CFL commentary, so we may have to take a look at the CFL next. So again, we have another hour in this promo. I'm going to try to throw out a lot of slips. Again, like a lot of people are like, oh, I just want your best play. It's like, you know, this is a 6-leg parlay with a 30x payout. Like, I like to diversify. You know, we'll find a bunch of picks with an edge, winning above 53% of the time. And hopefully, you know, we can just win one of them. So I'm going to try to throw out a lot of darts. And what we can do too, what I do sometimes, is I'll keep some of these plays and then I'll get rid of some of them that maybe I didn't love as much, right? And we can keep some of the ones we really like. So I like this play on Zest over 26. It's just clear as day, right? So if we go over to Valorant, we look at the kills line, first 2 player map kills. Let's take a look at Zest. Right, it's pretty clear. 26, 27 halves, 28 across the board. It's clear PrizePicks is too low, right? And if you watch Valorant and you disagree with me, you know, that's fine. I, again, follow a very data-driven approach. Everything I do is based in where are other, you know, where is the data telling me to bet? I don't bet with my gut. If you do, you can bet that way. But we can go over to FanDuel too. You know, you can see there's some decent MLB plays on FanDuel. Again, there's 207 books out there. I don't have access to most of these. I do have access to Hot Streak. So Hot Streak's a book we gave out some plays on yesterday. I've been giving out some plays on. So maybe we should pull up Hot Streak as well. So, well, nobody really likes Hot Streak. Whatever, we'll skip it over. So let's look for some more plays on PrizePicks. Again, we only have 54 minutes left here. So let's just reload this. Yeah, any Hot Streak plays. Give it a bit. We'll keep this live stream going. So what we can do is, I'm still going to keep League of Legends out of it. We'll put League of Legends back in a sec, but there were just a lot of triple headers, so got a little confused with the data. But anyways, let's go back here, and we can take a look. So again, some of these plays like Terrell Bynum, you know, you can see only PrizePicks and ParlayPlay are posting lines. So again, we're getting this nice added cushion because PrizePicks is increasing their payout to 30x on 6x payouts. But still, like, I prefer plays where I can see a lot of other data points, right? So this play on Trey Turner would have been great because, again, literally every major sports book, right? All these books, billion-dollar companies, they have better models than you have. So many people email me, hey, I'm trying to outmodel the sports books. And if you can, like, you know, good for you. But you'll probably need, you know, like a team of computer scientists and crap like that, and it's not even worth it, right? The easiest money you're going to make is just exploiting these books on these profitable promos they're running. So anyways, let's go back here. All these books run promos, right? So like Underdog Fantasy, I think they were supposed to pay us out on Richardson. I'm not sure if they have yet, but let's reload this. Let's reload Underdog very quickly. Did they pay us out on Richardson? So Underdog, looks like we went on. So they did, right? They paid us out on Richardson. Underdog had the promo. He didn't even play in the game, but they paid out Anthony Richardson over half of a yard. So we had the 5x, 20x payout here. PrizePicks were going for the 30x payout. So anyways, let's lock in some slips and shut up for a second. And look for some plays. Again, I prefer the MLB plays. Jameis Winston. That's not a name I've heard in a few minutes. So you can see here, over in passing yards, Vivid picks, Underdog have his line a bit higher. Maybe. Another thing I like to do is, like, you know, ideally we can find some plays that are positively correlated. So by that I mean, like, in the NFL, Alyssa Thomas's line just moved. That's fine. That's fine. I still like 3 of these picks. We'll go with 3 of these picks. People have been saying to look at the CFL line, so maybe we go over to Canadian Football League, and we can take a look here. Let's look at passing yards. Let's get rid of Zest. So again, like, this tool is called the Sportsbook screen. All it does is it kind of, like, So here it doesn't look like any really value on PrizePicks. PrizePicks has his line at 266 half. FanDuel a little higher. DraftKings has his line exactly there. ParlayPlay a little lower. If anything, it seems like Bet365, if you have access to Bet365, they have his line at 294 half. I would slam that under. I'm not really sure what they're doing there. But anyways, we can go to receiving yards, and we can take a look here. And rushing yards. So where is PrizePicks screwing up? So Lucky Whitehead, here it seems like they're a bit too high, right? PrizePicks has the line at 49 half. Other books lower, 44 half, 46 half. Here they're, it's pretty simple. Like, most plays aren't profitable. Damn, they just moved Zest's line. Anyways, there was that other Valorant play we were going to go with. But again, like, most bets aren't profitable, right? Like, we literally are searching for gold in the market. Like, PrizePicks has these tens of thousands of lines. Most bets aren't profitable. We're looking for those rare few plays that are winning over 53% of the time. You're kind of like a hedge fund hunting through the market for those few investments that are actually worth making. Ooh, I do love a good tennis play. We got Alcaraz under 2.5 break points won. PrizePicks is pretty soft for tennis. I've noticed they screw up a lot of tennis lines. So Djokovic, where are break points won? So this is what we want. This game starts in 19 minutes. Anyways, we got the CFL pulled up as well. So here you can see like no discrepancies really for any of these three bottom players. But Lucky Whitehead, his line's a bit high on PrizePicks at 49 half. FanDuel has the line 46 half. ParlayPlay 47 half. We have that nice cushion with the promo. So what we can do is we can go over to the CFL and we can take Whitehead under 49.5 receiving yards. So now we got 4 picks. I'll keep these 2 plays. Do we like this? This actually works pretty well. Positively correlated, right? We're taking 2 players on the same team, both to go under. If, they're getting blown out or they don't have the ball as much, like these outcomes are positively correlated. It's like, on PrizePicks, they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. You're probably sick of hearing me say it, but like that means you can exploit positive correlation. So if you find a really good player, a really good play on a quarterback, look for a play on his main receiver, right? Also to go over. So these plays are positively correlated, right? Running back, receiver, under in yards. If Whitehead, doesn't go over in receiving yards, if the BC Lions, I think it is, if, they don't have the ball as much, if they're not having as many possessions, they're punting more, there's less possessions for them, like they're both going to go under. These outcomes are positively correlated. Whew. So let's look for some plays. Again, you can see there's some NFL plays. Zest's line just moved. So let me actually just refresh this because they moved that line on us. So what we can do, again, these NFL plays, like there's just not a ton of data points. Like nothing's better than some of these MLB bets like Bryce Harper over 1.5 hits. Here it's clear as day. This is a good bet on FanDuel. They're pricing this plus 150. You have all these other sports books, sophisticated books that have invested millions of dollars, their ability to set lines, pricing it at like plus 120. Anyways, Dewana Bonner over 18.5 points. You can see right here, FanDuel has their line at 19.5. So does Caesars. So let's get some plays going. So we want to go over to the WNBA. We want to rip Bonner over 18.5 points. The other sports books have our line higher. And then we want one more play that we can roll with in this game. So what do we like? What do we like? What do we like? So again, we can be a little more aggressive going down to 53.2%. That's just, literally you can go through the math behind PrizePicks and you'll see that's optimal. So this play I do like. Chronicle under 31. All the other books have this line at 29.5, 30.5. It's very simple, right? Like all you got to do to be profitable betting this promo is win at least 52.95% of your picks, right? So these player props like Chronicle over under, if you can get your win rate just a slight edge, right? The way PrizePicks makes money is they assume, let's hit this for 150, whatever, right? The way that PrizePicks makes money is they assume most people can only win, like mizzle. Like if you don't have an edge, as a simple example, if you don't have an edge, So let's reuse these. We can keep some of these same picks. If you don't have an advantage, you're only going to win these player props 50% of the time, right? You selecting over versus under is going to be like you flipping a coin, right? You're going to be 50% to be right, 50% to be wrong. So that's not that good, right? You need to get your win rate, you need to be able to win like 53% of your picks, only losing 47% of your picks. So the easiest way to do that, again, I'm not saying there's not other ways, but when Chronicle's line is at 31 and every other sportsbook is saying, no, this line should be lower at 28, 29, those are all data points telling us, yeah, the under is the side we'd want to take on PrizePicks. The under is winning above 53% of the time. The under is the play with an edge. So anyways, we've reused some of these picks. We can reuse them again, or you can, switch it up, whatever. So again, like ideally 53.2. So this play seems, Trey Turner over 1.5 bases. This play just kind of makes the cut for 53%. Like again, why is this play winning? So this play, actually, I kind of like, right? So the reason I like it, sorry, let's get rid of this. What play should we get rid of? Let's get rid of this tennis play for now. And then we wanted Schwarber as well. Is if the Phillies have a great game, right? If the Phillies are getting on base a lot, if Trey Turner has a bunch of hits, Kyle Schwarber is more likely to have more at-bats. This is positively correlated. Not a ton positively correlated, but if Trey Turner goes over in bases, Kyle Schwarber is more likely to have more at-bats and also go over in total bases. So we can hit this as well for like 75 bucks. Again, we're getting a lot of exposure on the same players, but whatever. We have 45 minutes left, and I'm trying to fire off some slips. And again, it's like, oh, why is he favored? Why are both of these why do we like both of these overs? Is you look at DraftKings, this sportsbook, multi-billion-dollar company, they have better models than you have. They're better at pricing lines than you. They have better data feeds than you. They're taking all these bets, moving around lines due to supply and demand. DraftKings has both of these players heavily favored to go over 1.5 bases. If the over is more likely, you know the over is winning above 50% of the time. And to be profitable on PrizePicks, you just have to get your win rate for this promo above like 52.95%. It's even lower. It's like 52.9%. But regardless, the sports books are telling us, yo, both of these players are more likely to go over as opposed to under. So that's a great play on PrizePicks. So there we got another 6-pick flex play if you want to tail it. So let's go to the next PrizePicks slip. And again, I'm aware some people already understand PrizePicks strategy inside and out. There's always new users, new people who are getting started on PrizePicks. So hopefully these tips are helpful for you. But anyways, we can go back and we can try to find some more plays, right? Looking for value in the market. Looking for some positively correlated slips as well. So let's play on D1 a Bonner. Do we want to stick with it? What we can do is we can go to the WNBA and we can go to player points and we can take a look. So let's pull her up, right? Underdog has her line a bit higher. This play actually looks even better on SportsBattle. Again, I've explained this before, but like you never know what books are going to be running promos on a given day. You never know which sports books are going to have the best bets, right? Underdog Fantasy with their Richardson promo that we did on the live stream a couple days ago. The more books you have, the more promos you're going to get access to. And some of these promos are better. Like this PrizePicks promo is good, but we still need an edge. We still have to win 53% of our picks to be profitable, right? So whereas this promo on Underdog Fantasy, I mean, he didn't even play and they just graded it as a win. It was just free money for anyone who's been on the live streams, right? So we were on a heater on Underdog there for a bit. But anyways, let's look for some more slips on PrizePicks. We got 42 more minutes. So let's refresh this and let's look for some plays. We can go over to League of Legends in a second. We can stay with going what we're going with. So we can stick with these CFL plays. So it's kind of annoying, like this play on D1 a Bonner, like I'd rather take it on SportsBattle, but PrizePicks is running the promo. But if you have access to SportsBattle, I mean, this play looks great on SportsBattle. Over 18. All the other books have a line at like 18.5. FanDuel's all the way up at 19.5. So is Caesars. So that would be a great pick to go with. So maybe we take it, maybe we don't. A lot of exposure on the Phillies players today. Maybe we get rid of them for now. I like this play on Chronicle. Might as well have an esports play. And then I do like the correlation in these CFL plays. So maybe we stick with it for now. And we can refresh this. And again, if you don't have access to PrizePicks, sorry. You know, this live stream is largely going to be PrizePicks. You can see there's good bets on Circa, other sports books. More books you have, the better. But PrizePicks is a book. It's available basically everywhere. So a lot of people have access to it. If you don't use it yet, probably a good book to get. So we can go with a WNBA only slip. Or we can look for some WNBA plays. So Courtney Williams. Again, this play was like a little confusing. So if we go to the WNBA player points, Courtney Williams, it was like some books have her line at 9.5, 10.5. You know, and also not a lot of sports books. I mean, like Caesars decided not to post. Like a lot of books aren't even posting her line. So maybe we skip over this. There's just not as many data points, right? More data points means increased confidence in where the line should be set. So we can go to Mariah Jefferson. Let's take a look at this girl. All the books have her line at 11.5. FanDuel has her line at 10.5. Whatever, we'll skip it over. So we can be a little more aggressive with going down here. So we already have this CFL play. What other plays can we look at? So here we have a CSGO play. Perfect. Underdog, SportsBattle, both have this line lower. So we can head over to the CSGO. And these slips look so random. But again, like, you never know which book. I mean, today we're focused on PrizePicks, again, just because PrizePicks is the one running the promo. But you really never know. Zach Wheeler, over 5.5, hits allowed, whatever. We can throw in this MLB play. Again, these plays generally we wouldn't want to go with, right? Like, even though, you know, you go to the pitcher props, you go to hits allowed, and we pull up Wheeler, like, even though sportsbooks have his over as the favorite outcome, so you'd rather take the over as opposed to the under on PrizePicks, like, obviously if books have his over as the favorite outcome, we'd rather take his over as opposed to the under because we're getting the same payout. But regardless, you know, but this play in general would not be profitable on PrizePicks. But again, with their little promo they're running, it's good to go. So we'll hit this for $100, and then we got to get rid of these CFL plays. Been including them in way too many slips. So Zach Wheeler over 5.5 hits allowed. We got some CSGO plays. We got some Valorant plays. We got some CFL plays. Looks like a random slip, but again, that's where the value is. So that's what we're taking. So let's get rid of these CFL plays. We placed a lot of bets with those CFL plays. So now we can start with a 4-pick entry, and we can look for 2 more. Ezzy McBegor, over 13.5 points. How do we feel about her? Underdog bumped up her line to 14. Sportsbooks have her line at 13.5 with the over as the favorite outcome. Seems a little decent. Seems decent enough to go with in this promo. So there we go. So now we have 5 picks, and we can look for a 6 pick, and then maybe we'll start from scratch. And we can take a look at all these plays. So again, a lot of NFL plays, you can include them if you want. There's just not a ton of books in general posting lines on the NFL preseason, so you shouldn't be as confident in your edge, right? The more data points you have means the more confident you should be in where the line is set, right? Like here, the Jaguars week 1 on WinBet. Sure, this play has a kind of low profit margin, but there's tons of sportsbooks posting lines on NFL money lines. It's a super efficient betting market. So, whereas in the NFL preseason player props, it's kind of like these books are putting their finger to the wind. Who knows who's right, right? But still, that doesn't take away that when you're finding discrepancies, you're going to increase your win rate. So we can hit this for $50, and then maybe we should start a slip from scratch. Right? So it's pretty simple. You know, PAYOUTS' line is lower on Underdog Fantasy on these other platforms. Right, they have him at 37. The other books were like 36.5, whatever. So obviously, if we're going to play him on PrizePicks, considering his line is higher, we'd rather take the under. So we're using data to make more informed betting decisions. You know, PrizePicks has the line at 38. The other books are at 37, 36.5. So it's like, okay, we know on PrizePicks, we just have to win 52.95% of our picks to make our entries profitable. All these other books telling us his line should be lower mean we'd obviously rather take the under on PrizePicks. So that's a great play to go with. So we still have 36 minutes left in this entry. If anyone has some plays they recommend, you can feel free to share them. So we can go back here. What is up with League of Legends? I am getting confused, but there are so many games that I'm not even positive these are right. So like VZZ, map 1 kills, 1 p.m. PrizePicks has his line at 5. For Monday. This plays for Monday, but it doesn't matter, right? Other sports books have his line at 6.5, right? Where does ParlayPlay have this line? Do they have this line up? VZZ. So they only have the line for the 8 p.m. game up. So it's just a little confusing. A lot of double headers. Are these double headers as well in esports? So time. So let's just get rid of this team. Let's get rid of these teams with the double headers, because it's kind of confusing me if we're even reading that in correctly. Anyways, let's pull it up, and then let's go to GTZ, and let's get rid of them. And then maybe we get a clearer picture of the data. So Stefan's line is 2. Man, there are so many League of Legends games, so let's get rid of them. Underdog. It's just Underdog and PrizePicks too that are posting lines. So again, I prefer when there's multiple sports books posting lines. Of course, what you can do if the discrepancy is big enough, so like this player Stefan, we can take a look at this. Again, there's so many freaking games. If we take a look at this player Stefan, right? Like, whatever. Let's just skip this over. Let's play some slips. Let's just get rid of League of Legends. We can also pull up Underdog. Maybe there's some really good lines on Underdog. Just because PrizePicks is running a promo, I don't want to miss out on them. So let's go here. Let's get rid of League of Legends, and let's take a look. And we can see if we can find anything good. So Diana Taurasi, under 5 assists. This play is being recommended on an Underdog. So what we can do is we can take a look here, and we can pull up the sportsbook screen, and let's go to WNBA player assists, and let's take a look at these lines. And then maybe we'll figure out how to go back. Player assists. So this play looks clear as day, right? On Underdog Fantasy. Again, PrizePicks is running the promo. We'll go back to it in a sec, but you never know where the value is going to be. Clearly, Underdog Fantasy screwing up this line. They have Diana Taurasi's line at 5. All the other fantasy sites, 4.5. DraftKings has the line at 4.5, and they have the under favored, right? Golden Nugget, another sports book, they have the line at 4.5 with the under favored. Underdog's at 5. So this is a great play. Underdog in general, I tend to find better lines on compared to PrizePicks. In my opinion, easier to make money, easier to find value on Underdog Fantasy. More books, you know, obviously the better. So what we can do is we can take a look here. Easton Stick, under 1.5. You know, so ideally, like, right? I mean, these plays seem like a pretty good pair. Jameis Winston, under 91.5 passing yards. All the other books have his line lower. And we can take his receiver, A.T. Perry, under 37.5 receiving yards. So maybe this is a play. And, of course, they locked it. So let's pull it up. Let's see if they locked it. So they removed it. So, again, like, it kind of sucks, but you just got to move quickly. Like, you are literally battling against the books to try to find these good lines because they're going to try to move them when you're trying to bet them. So, Elia Boston, under 9.5 rebounds. So looks like there's some good WNBA value in the market on Underdog. Everyone's focused on PrizePicks. We're the smart ones. We pulled up Underdog Fantasy here for a second. Marbury, Underdog has her line at 14. All the other books have her line at, you know, where? 15.5, 15. FanDuel has her line at 14.5 with the over as the favored outcome. So this seems decent enough to go with. How does it line up? Marbury over 14 points. Again, on Underdog Fantasy, again, I know a lot of people know this, but you'll see me place a lot of 3-pick entries on Underdog. They give you a 6x payout, right? They're giving you a 6x payout for 3-pick entries. PrizePicks is only 5x, right? Obviously, PrizePicks is running a promo right now on 6-pick flex plays, so I'm not going to place any 5 flexes, but that's why you'll see, you know, I place a lot of 3-pick entries on Underdog Fantasy. Alyssa Thomas, under 10.5 rebounds. So let's get rid of the NFL for now. Again, there's just not as many books posting lines, not as confident in these lines. But you can see there's a shit ton of value right now on Underdog Fantasy. So Alyssa Thomas, under 10.5 rebounds. This tool, the sportsbook screen, I just kind of like to pull it up just to kind of see where every book is setting their line, right? So you can kind of browse the whole market. So you can see Underdog is screwing up this line too. They have her line at 10.5. All the other books, you know, 9.5 in general. FanDuel has the or the sports books have the under 10.5 as the heavily favored outcome. That was a good play to go with. What game is this in? So Connecticut versus Chicago. So this play seems decent, right? So 4-pick entries on Underdog, you want to play with insurance. So 4-pick insured entries. So I'm going to lock this in here in a second. If anyone wants to tail it, you know, go ahead now. The Underdog just moves lines pretty quickly. Compared to other sports books, like PrizePicks, in my opinion, it's harder to find value. It's harder to find good bets. But they don't move lines as quickly. So here's an article I just posted in the chat, kind of breaking down how many picks is optimal, you know, to go with on PrizePicks on Underdog Fantasy, because it gets a little confusing, like why 4-pick entries on Underdog, you know, with insurance? Why should I not play them without insurance? And again, it all boils down to win rate. So let's go ahead, let's lock this in. Max bet size of $250. So we'll hit this with insurance on Underdog. And again, like that's another reason you want to place a ton of bets on a daily basis. I know some people know this, but you know, the max bet size on Underdog Fantasy is $250. So it's not like if you build your bankroll, you're going to be able to start slamming lines for $10,000. The sports betting markets aren't that liquid. So if you only place one bet a day, even if you have a 20% ROI, if you're only placing one bet a day, you know, for $250, you're going to make $50 per day and you're capping your earnings, right? The more bets you place, obviously, the better. So let's go back to PrizePicks. And again, it all boils down to win rate, right? So the reason you never want to place a 2-pick on PrizePicks is very simple. If you literally go through the math in the spreadsheet earlier of the payouts I shared, if you can win, right, your player props, about to find some good plays on PrizePicks, but if you can win these player props, just like Ferret over under 2.5 map 1 kills, if you can win these prop bets, you know, 57% of the time, which would be crazy good, right? If you can hit these prop bets 57% of the time, you're winning 57% of these props, you're only losing 43%, you're still going to lose money playing 2-pick power plays, right? Your ROI is going to be negative 2.53% if you're winning your player prop over unders 57% of the time. Whereas if you're playing 5 flexes, your ROI would be 19.25%, right? So it really matters how many picks you're going with on these platforms. But anyways, let's go back to PrizePicks. Although I was kind of having fun with Underdog Fantasy, but let's go back to PrizePicks real quickly. And let's try to find some last-minute bets. If anyone sees any plays they recommend, feel free to recommend them. I'll take a look at the chat here in a second. So what do we want to go with? So a lot of the board has dried up, but we'll still find some plays. So let's put in League of Legends again. Did ParlayPlay drop lines? I don't see ParlayPlay with esports lines. I'll have to look into that. So again, these plays where there's only 2 sports books posting lines, in general, I try to avoid them. I try to look for spots where, you know, books have a ton of lines posted. So what we can do is maybe make one last prize pick slip. So Brianna Turner, over 6.5 rebounds. Books have her over heavily favored or the line at 7.5. So this play seems decent enough to go with. So let's go back to the WNBA and let's start locking in some plays. Over 6.5 rebounds for Brianna Turner. This play, CSGO play, we included it in one slip already, but whatever. I'm going to include it in another. It seemed pretty good. All the other books had her line lower, right, at 37. And all we're looking for is player props. All we got to do is find player props winning above 53.2% of the time, 52.95% of the time for this promo, which isn't that high, right? It's really not that high. Courtney Williams, over 5 rebounds. Did we just take something on Courtney Williams or Elizabeth Williams? Let's take a look here. Damn, this play's looking beautiful from the live stream yesterday. Nice. So, Underdog Fantasy's been pretty hot. But anyways, let's go back here. Got to shut up. So, let's go back here. Let's go here. And let's go to over 5 rebounds. So, this game's about to start in 24 minutes. I'm curious what PrizePicks is doing tomorrow. Hopefully it's another good promo. Over Alyssa Thomas, over 7.5 with hits. Chronicle, under 31. I mean, we're including a lot of these same slips over and over. If you see anything else you like, obviously feel free to go with it. Maybe we put back in the NFL. Take a look. Again, I've been trying not to include the NFL in as many slips for the basic reason there's just not a ton of books posting lines. So it's hard to be really confident that you have an edge, right? Kalen Doss, under 32.5 receiving yards. Maybe we include another little NFL play. So let's go back here. Let's go to NFL preseason. All these plays are going to be winning above 52.95% of the time. That's the only requirement we're looking for. I can't tell the future. Can't tell you which bets are a lock. But, again, it's very simple. If we can just find player props with a slight edge, especially with this promo running, then we're going to be profitable on PrizePicks. So this play on KS, really good. All the other books have the line significantly lower, so sure, that seems like a great play to go with. Ezzy McBegor, Elia Boston, under 15.5 points. That play, we can go all the way down to like 52. I forgot, 52.95%. So this play on Zest, maybe even still a little bit of value, but whatever. Let's skip that over. What we can do is we can replace Chronicle because we've included him in a few slips now. Maybe we replace it with Leo. Just try to diversify a bit. I'm not sure if they're going to let me bet 2 players on the same team, but where did other books have Leo's line at like 29.5? So some solid value on the under on PrizePicks. So we'll get rid of this play on Chronicle. So now we have a 5 flex, and we just need one more pick that we can go with. Lucky Whitehead, under 49.5. Sophie Cunningham, under 13.5, under 13 points. Elia Boston. Maybe we take Elia Boston, under 15.5. We already have her under in rebounds on Underdog Fantasy, but whatever. And again, all OddsJam is doing is just pointing out discrepancies in the market. Like, it's a pretty simple tool. So we have 20 more minutes we can go with on this play. So there's another 6 flex on PrizePicks. Throwing out a fair amount of darts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One I gave out on Twitter. But anyways, if you want to tail it, here's the next one. Leo's line, like, very simple. We're just looking for plays winning above 52.9% of the time. All the other books have Leo's line lower. That tells us there's value on the under. On PrizePicks, PrizePicks has the line too high, so we can take the under. Anyways, can go back to Underdog. Apparently this play didn't hit. Unfortunately, Nertz didn't hit. According to a user in the chat. Hopefully he's wrong, but I assume he's not wrong. But still, 4-pick entries, we're playing with insurance. So at least we'll get, $150 payout. So on Underdog, 3 picks, no insurance. 4 picks with insurance. 5 picks, doesn't really matter if you play them with or without insurance. Erica Wheeler, how do we feel about this line on Underdog Fantasy? We can pull up Underdog here for a second. Take a look. Man, there are no books posting. We're on player rebounds. If we go over to player points, we can see, do any books have Erica Wheeler's lineup? PrizePicks has a line all the way down at 10. FanDuel has the line at 9.5. Hot Streak has the line at 10.5 with the under favored. So these are all data points like you want to consider as a sports bettor. Erica Wheeler's line is 10.5, and Hot Streak has the under favored, right? So that makes us really like this under 11 on Underdog Fantasy. PrizePicks has the line lower at 10. ParlayPlay has the line at 11. So that makes us not like this bet on Underdog Fantasy as much. But we're considering all that data, when we're making our bets on Underdog Fantasy. So we will take her under, because why not? So we got some plays on Zach Wheeler already. Might as well add in a play on Erica Wheeler. So we have under 11 points. Collier under 22.5 points. This play seems pretty good. Let's just pull it up very quickly so we can take a look at her line. Underdog, clear as day, right? OddsJam is just, most of these lines, I say it all the time, you're looking for those rare few betting opportunities that are actually profitable. There are tens of thousands of lines on Underdog. Most of those bets suck, right? So we're just looking for those few spots where they're screwing up a line, right? Inefficiencies in the market because all these books set lines independently. The sports betting market is extremely fragmented, right? All these other books, literally every other data point, every other sports book posting lines has her line set at 21.5. Underdog 22.5, pretty simple. Value on the under. You're using real-time market data, sportsbook odds, to make informed betting decisions, to make good picks. Like, the reason you can't do this in the stock market is the stock market's really efficient. You go to E-Trade, Fidelity, Robinhood, this is the price of Facebook, $283.25. You're not going to see these massive discrepancies. That's why I love sports betting so much. The market is extremely fragmented, extremely inefficient, and we can just take advantage of those inefficiencies to find plays with an edge. So let's add in the NFL here. It's not going to work without the NFL. There's not enough picks. So we could take Winston under 91.5, and we could pair that with his receiver A.T. Perry, a little bit of positive correlation going on there. Any other plays we really like? Not really. So maybe we do take Winston and Perry under, right? So we want him under 91.5 passing. So these plays are positively correlated, right? That's great, right? You don't want to take a receiver to go over his quarterback under. You want to look for both of them together under, right? Exploit positive correlation in the market. So typically when I'm looking through, like, in League of Legends, there's correlation too. Damn. So now so let's reload this. But anyways, we'll lock in this play very quickly. Although it does look like there's League of Legends kind of stressing me out, but let's look at this player, Spooky. What's the deal with him? Spooky's line, I don't know why there's so many freaking triple headers. So if we take a look at Spooky, 9 a.m. game, Underdog has his line at 3.5. Parlay plays at 2.5. Where does PrizePicks have his line? Right, so we can pull up PrizePicks. We can take a look at Spooky. We're looking at the 9 a.m. game. So this play seems really good on Underdog. 2.5 on PrizePicks. 9 a.m. game, not 11 or 1. These guys go hard. We have 2.5 on ParlayPlay for the 9 a.m. game. Underdog Fantasy is at 3.5, right? So that's why OddsJam's recommending the play. It's no magic, just pointing out discrepancies in the market. So now we have a 5-pick entry, or we could get rid of the NFL plays because there's not as many data points, although we do have positive correlation on them. So maybe we play a 5-pick with insurance on Underdog. We have one League of Legends play. We'll go to Hot Streak in a sec. I want to get one more PrizePicks play done. So maybe we play this. 5-pick with insurance. Seems decent. Seems pretty good. Solid value on the WNBA plays. And then this play on Spooky looks really good. I mean, I don't know. The triple headers are a little confusing, but it seems pretty clear. His line is 2.5, right, on Underdog. Or sorry, on ParlayPlay. 2.5 on PrizePicks, right? Underdog has his line at 3.5. Again, not a ton of data points. This isn't an NFL money line where you have literally like 1,000 sports books posting lines on a game. I mean, literally, for the NFL, people betting with their gut, it's hilarious to me. It's the most efficient betting market. There's so much action. There are literally hundreds of sports books that are posting NFL money line odds, right? It's almost impossible to beat spreads. People try with your gut, right? The only way you're going to win in the NFL is finding these inefficiencies. So let's go back to Underdog, and we can pull up some plays. So let's take a look here. So that play on Spooky was really good, right? Again, only get a max bet size of $100 for esports, but that play seems, clear as day. So maybe we get rid of NFL. I do want to go back to PrizePicks, place one more play before, we get into it. So let's look at this play. We got another triple header here for Shikari. 3 there, 2.5 there, right? And then you can see PrizePicks has the line at 2.5. That guy looks like he can do a triple header. So again, don't have to win every bet, right? Finding these inefficiencies, getting an edge, how we're going to win long term. So it does look like ParlayPlay has dropped lines. In esports, you can find some pretty good correlation sometimes. So it does look like a lot of esports lines are dropping, which is something I like to see. So we look at this player, Sicko. It's recommending we take the under. ParlayPlay has the line at 2, right? PrizePicks has the line at 2. Again, it seems so simplistic, but finding value, that's how you increase your win rate above 52.95%. Well, that's for the PrizePicks promo. Underdog, it's going to be a little higher. That's how you increase your win rate, right? And win more plays, win more money long term. So let's get rid of football here. And we can take a look, and let's play a 3-man. Never play 3-mans with insurance. They're horrible, right? So we want to play 3-mans uninsured. So ideally, we can find these spots, like these plays I prefer, where Underdog is screwing up versus every other sports book, right? Granted, there's not a ton of books. I'm not going to act like there's a ton of books posting, League of Legends lines, but you get the point. Ideally, we can find Underdog Fantasy asleep at the wheel versus numerous other sports books. So we can look at Destroy. A lot of unders. So it looks like Underdog Fantasy, their model is just spitting out lines that are too high. So none of these plays from the same game. So no correlation we're taking advantage of. But it's pretty clear, like, Underdog Fantasy too high here. Enough to get a play with an edge. 3 League of Legends unders. And we can go with this. Boom. Great. And then let's go back to PrizePicks. And here's the last slip on Underdog Fantasy if you want to tail it. Yeah, I'll go through some FanDuel plays. FanDuel plays coming up. And then we'll get a couple more PrizePicks plays down. So what we can do is we can just look at FanDuel. Where is FanDuel fucking up their line? So let's pull up FanDuel, right? Typically, I recommend setting max odds, plus 190, plus 250, whatever. You can see there's some plays. I mean, you looking for an NFL play? Saints, week 1, -3 against the Titans. That play seems decent. If you're not looking for that, if you would prefer an NFL play, an MLB play, Bryce Harper over 1.5 hits. 1 data point, right? All these books are data points. The way I think about it is like, oh, they're telling me it should be priced plus 102. Okay, plus 150 seems good. DraftKings saying plus 115. Plus 150 seems good, right? Bryce Harper over 1.5 hits seems like a good play. So we can go back to PrizePicks. And we can take a look. And for the person who was asking for hot streak plays, we can pull up a hot streak play. So if we go over to hot streak, again, typically I recommend set your max odds like plus 190, something like that. I should have logged into hot streak before the live stream, but I didn't. But what does seem like a good play Well, actually, maybe I can log in. Hot Streak. Let's see if this works. So again, Hot Streak, I know it's not the most popular platform in the world, but they have a lot of good lines. They also have a lot of good promos. And again, promos are it's the easiest money you're going to make sports betting. All my friends who don't bet on sports, I tell them literally just sign up for sportsbooks, do the 100% deposit match. They literally all give you a free $100 for signing up. You should get as many sportsbooks as possible, right? Hot Streak, 100% deposit match up to $100. So I literally signed up to take advantage of the deposit bonus. And then I realized there was a lot of profitable bets on Hot Streak. This is another platform, right? It's another DFS platform, fantasy sports platform, where you can only place parlays, but they have a lot of good lines. I mean, we lost our last two, or this was actually voided, so we didn't lose. But we lost our we lost our last one, but you can see we've been on a pretty crazy win streak. These are two-pick, parlays, 200 to win 1,000, like pretty juicy payouts. I've ran it up from 500 to 2.9K. They do have a lot of good lines. So what we can do is we can just take a look through the market. And again, like the data never lies. So many people, they zone in so much on a specific pick or handicapping. It's just bullshit, right? The way you're going to make money is finding inefficiencies, and also when you're following the data, you're getting an edge. You're going to win long term. So if we take a look here, we have Zach Wheeler, over 5.5 hits allowed. Is this what we want to go with? So it looks like the line moved. What's confusing about this site is they put everything in decimal odds. So this is the odds format used in like Europe. I'm not sure why they can't just put normal odds. But regardless, we have Kelbert Ruiz to get a hit. Hot Streak has this at minus 165. Other sports books are around like minus 260-ish, right? FanDuel has this minus 260, just on the fantasy optimizer. All the other sports books are pricing this, around like minus 260, whatever. So that play, seems decent if you want to take him to get a hit. Although it looks like it just moved. You can see it moving maybe a little. It like flashes red and green. So, I mean, maybe a little bit of value. And then you can go with, or honestly, you could take Bonner under 5.5 rebounds, and then Courtney Williams over 5.5. That play seems good. It's slightly lower EV, but these lines are moving like crazy. So we want to take her under 5.5 rebounds, right? Again, I'm not sure why their layout is in decimal odds, but that's just what they do. And again, it's another book that has a, $100 sign-up bonus when you sign up. Like, literally, you can sign up, rip it for $100, never bet on it again. It's the easiest money you're going to make. So these two plays are in the same game. So this seems, whatever, decent if you wanted to go with it. Also, probably a little bit of positive correlation on this play if we're able to lock it in on Hot Streak. So we were able to lock it in. So this would be the play you want to go with, right? And again, if you want to sign up for Hot Streak, do it. Their sign-up bonus used to be $200. They lowered it to $100. But Alex is just my refer friend code. You can sign up. You'll make money on the platform. It's very exploitable. I really don't understand why they put everything in decimal odds. But anyways, let's go back to PrizePicks while we still have some time in this promo. With this promo, because they're going to end it at 5 p.m. Eastern. And I'm excited to see what they have for tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully it's for 5 flexes or, 3 pick entries or something like that. So what do we want to take? We can pull up PrizePicks. So this play, man, what is going on here? VZZ. PrizePicks has this line at 5. No. Nope. Not sure what's going on in this game, but it doesn't look like. I think the triple headers is getting it confused. So what about this player, Saboy, right? Or ACD. So let's just take a look. ACD, 2.5, 3, 3.5. We can take a look here. 2.5. So they're lined up here. So what is it recommending? ACD under 3. So where does PrizePicks have the line at 3? Here, the last game. ACD's 3.5 here. Nah, let's just get rid of League of Legends. This doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like it's working for Underdog and ParlayPlay, but these lines seem a little screwed up. So let's just get rid of that. And let's just try to find a slip quickly without League of Legends. So we already have this play on Dewana Bonner. We already have this play on Courtney Williams. A lot of these plays we've already locked in. Depends how aggressive you want to be with these promos. Like Mizzle is a play we already locked in. I did like the CFL correlation. So maybe we make one last slip. We're really doubling down on a lot of the same players. So let's go here. And then we wanted Whitehead. And we wanted to take him under 49.5 receiving yards. Solid correlation. Thanks for whoever pointed that out in the chat. And then if we go here, we can take a look at CFL lines and make sure nothing moved on us. So we want to go to receiving yards. Take a look, see where, okay, where do all the books have the line set? So again, you know, Lucky Whitehead, 49.5 on PrizePicks. Other books, 47.5, 44.5, 46.5. Seems like pretty good value just, you know, looking at the sportsbook screen. Also, positive correlation. So we can take that. Again, trying to place a bunch of different combinations. Nothing's going to be worse than if we lose one of these by, you know, one play. So ideally, we could have placed like 30 slips and won one. You know, then we would have broken even or tried to win 2, something like that. But anyways, let's keep going. So here we have an all-under slip starting to form. DNM under 9. Chronicle under 31. We're ripping a lot of the same plays. So if you don't want to tail, you know, if you've already gotten too much exposure down on some of these plays, Alyssa Thomas over 7.5 assists. So let's head over to the WNBA. We got Alyssa Thomas over 7.5 assists. This game starts in 3 minutes. So I'm going to be pretty aggressive just throwing slips down just because these games are about to start. And the promo's about to end. So, you know, who knows? Like, again, if you can't make money on promos, like when I started sports betting, all I bet was promos. All I took advantage of was promos. It's the easiest money you're going to make gambling. So these CFL plays, though, I really have like tripled down on them, but whatever. So what we can do is we can get rid of Alyssa Thomas. We can keep Wheeler. And we can add this CSGO play again. Just trying to create different combinations. Again, it's very simple on PrizePicks. A lot of people ask me, how many bets should I place per day? Doesn't really matter. For this promo, anything with above a 52.9% win rate is going to be profitable. Some days there's going to be less profitable plays available. So you're going to see max winnings on a single pick is 13.5K. So I guess I already have 13.5K of winnings on one player. So what I probably have to do is remove that CFL play. I can still keep Whitehead, I believe. And then maybe we take, you know, Trey Turner over 1.5 bases, something like that. Hopefully Trey Turner has a good game today. So we can take him over 1.5 bases. Something like this. Did we already hit the cap? So I'm not sure what I hit the cap on. Whitehead, DNM, maybe Chronicle. I don't think I already hit the cap on Chronicle. So let's get rid of this here. I mean, we literally have 2 minutes. So let me shut up and we can just throw down a bet. Leo under 30.5, Zest over 27. Again, you can go all the way down to 52.95%. Any of those plays would be good to go in your entry. A.T. Perry under 36.5 receiving yards, meh. Zach Wheeler over, maybe we just add in Alyssa Thomas assists. Is this going to work? We literally only have 2 minutes left. So this seems decent enough. Overs, 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 3 overs. Is that going to work? Oh my God, what have I hit the max on? Maybe Trey Turner's already at his max? I'm not particularly sure. We may not be able to get another bet down. I'm not going to have enough time to create a new slip. So we could go to Courtney Williams over 5 rebounds. This game's about to start again. Damn. So I'm not sure what I've hit the cap on, but you can see they're not letting me. Elizabeth Williams under 9.5 points. Is this going to work? Well, she's saying, nope, I want Elizabeth Williams under 9.5 points. This game's about to start. Are you going to take this bet? Damn. Okay. I've already hit the cap. I'm not sure which player brought me to the cap. Maybe it was Chronicle. But this promo's going to end in like half a minute. So we'll go over to Underdog. Whatever. Hopefully you were able to tail this play on Hot Streak. Again, more books you have, the better. Right? PrizePicks was the one with a great promo today. Underdog had their promo yesterday. Sleeper had their promo yesterday. Sleeper is just another sports book that you can have in your arsenal. And I've never placed a bet on Sleeper aside from during promos. So if you go to like Sleeper, in general, there's just no value. They don't have a lot of lines, and most of their lines are horrible. They just have tons of juice in their market. But like all these promos, I think since I signed up for Sleeper, I've bet every single promo. They've had like 20 promos, and I've gone from like $100 to $350. Literally just betting promos. Just betting promos. If you want a FanDuel dinger play, Kyle Schwarber to go yard, plus 200 seems like pretty good value. We're already on Kyle Schwarber over 1.5 bases on PrizePicks, but you can see all the other books pricing him around plus 160. I don't care what your own... A lot of people will be like, oh, my home run model says this. Again, Caesars has a better home run model than you, right? They're better at this stuff. So let's go back to Underdog. Damn. So maybe Hot Streak, their deposit bonus used to be, it at least says on mine. I mean, I've already taken advantage of it. But if you go to Hot Streak, maybe it depends on the state, but I see an 100% deposit match up to $100. If they still have the $200 one available, obviously take advantage of that. But what we can do is we can go back to Underdog. Let's get rid of the NFL. Again, there's just not a ton of sportsbook. Oh my God. So here we have some plays, some line discrepancies. I mean, now it's between like JockMKT. JockMKT's another sportsbook that has released, wow. So a fair amount of line discrepancies just in League of Legends. So a lot of these plays we've locked in. So ACD, let's make sure these are lining up. Where does ParlayPlay have the line? ParlayPlay has the line at 2, but this is for the earlier game. PrizePicks has the line at 3.5. Is this correct? So let's take a look. Or what we can do actually is let's just go here. So we've already locked in Shikari. This play on Hard Zhao. So this would be a good play to like middle bet. So middle betting just means like you found this big discrepancy. It's crazy, right? Sportsbook middles. And if he has exactly 34 or 35, kills in the first 2 maps, then you're going to win both bets, which is obviously a good thing. So let's check out this play. Haha over 2.5. So if we go to Underdog, we can pull up this play. We have Haha over 2.5. ParlayPlay has the line at 3. Where does PrizePicks have the line? PrizePicks has the line at 3 as well. So this seems like a good over to go with. We've been placing a lot of unders in esports on Underdog Fantasy, but that seems like a pretty good over. Again, when we can find positive correlation in esports, I like to take advantage of it. So this player is positively correlated to go under. So this is a great play on Underdog Fantasy, right? As long as PrizePicks lines up here, right? So, right, all the other books are telling us his line should be at 2. Underdog Fantasy is at 2.5, right? So we want to take the under. There's value on the under. Added benefit here is positive correlation. You can go through the League of Legends data. Like PrizePicks is one of those platforms. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So you can exploit positive correlation. If you take one guy to go over, taking a player on the opposing team to go under is positively correlated in League of Legends. So that seems like a pretty good play to go with. And then also prime under 2.5. So there we go. So these plays are positively correlated, right? These players, Stefan, Haha, are on opposite teams. So these plays are positively correlated. And then we add in prime under 2.5 kills in map 1. That seems decent. Right? We've already hit this play on 6-10. Wait. Stefan. So this play seems good. We can see if we can make it a 5-pick entry. You can see there's some other discrepancies on Underdog. I mean, but whatever. We'll call it a day for now after we lock in this slip. And there we go. 3-pick entry with positive correlation on Underdog Fantasy. So maybe we'll go live a bit later, but hopefully this live stream was helpful. If anyone has questions, you can feel free to email me at alex@oddsjam.com. Hope, what I can do better in these live streams, other sports books to focus on. I try to cover FanDuel, DraftKings, ones, even if they're not legal in my location. As much as possible, we can start covering promos on FanDuel. You can see, they have a 30% profit boost for soccer. All this stuff is easy money. This is all I bet when I started sports betting. If you can't make money when the sports book is giving you a 30% increase in your profit, you're probably not going to make money sports betting, period, and you should stop. So, these promos are a great way to start gambling, start making money, build your bankroll, stuff like that. But hopefully this was helpful.